Welcome everyone to the flip side of crypto. Joining me today is a very special guest named Carlos Gruner. Carlos, welcome to the show.
Hi everyone, happy to be here.
Carlos comes from a project named Olyseum. Elysium is one of those projects where you go to the website and you understand this glamorous, you understand it's exciting, but you don't really understand what it is. And Carlos today will help us understand what it is. So Carlos, what is Elysium?
Olyseum is a star-led virtual social engagement platform and enabling fans and brands to trade and experience with non-fungible tokens, but other type that we call XNFTs. Basically, we include the experiences in the core of these NFTs, so we call experiential NFTs, and all of this in a metaverse that we are creating and we will launch in a few weeks.
So basically, the project is not launched yet, right? It's going to launch in 2 weeks.
We are going to launch all our platform and the ecosystem. We've been some time testing and checking several approaches, and now we are going to launch all this platform with all this focus on NFTs and experiences.
So if I understood you correctly, Elysium will allow me as a fan to interact with the starlets, for example, ex-football stars, etc. And could you just specify in what way can I interact with them and why I couldn't do so before?
Sure. Imagine that you want to have a meet and greet, or you want to have an experience in a virtual space, or go into a match with some of the stars. So then you can buy this NFT and you have some experience that are attached to them. And you can live this experience, or you can also maybe invest on these rights to be with the star, and then you can enter on the space as a different kind of actor.
Wow, but why sports stars? Is this just the beginning and you're focusing on sports stars because they are, well, the most recognizable, or are music stars next? What's the mission here?
Actually, we are vertical agnostic. We are going for sports, fashion, music, YouTubers, for example. So it's not only about the sport.
Right, so let's just break it down. Why would a fan want to have this experience? Could you just walk through the simple person's mindset? What is it for the end user, for the simple user?
Passion. I mean, all the fans want to live closer to these stars, and they also want to have something unique, but not only maybe some piece of art or some signed t-shirt as we have, but also an experience that's a real non-fungible asset. Let's say like this.
That's interesting. So one person at a time can have this relationship with a star, or can several hundred? How will that work?
It depends on the experience and how rare is the NFT, and of course the price or the difficulty to acquire, because you can also earn this NFT by being active on the platform and with our reward system. So there are several types of experiences, one by one, and multiple people.
Wow. So actually, when I looked over the site, I had no idea that actually I could have different experience with them. I saw stars, I saw different experience, but now that you clarified it, it's kind of a novel idea. How did you come up with it? What was the initial thought behind it? When did you have that brainstorm that, yes, we need to do this?
We started thinking about another kind of social network, more collaborative, and where the value is shared among the participants. And then I started talking with some stars. Actually, my cousin is one former Football Club Barcelona star, and then he was explaining the complexity behind having a good relation with fans and the satisfaction in both sides. So we saw that there was a problem there, and we wanted to be there in the middle of it, trying to solve it or trying to help them have better experiences.
So essentially, this would allow you to be the connector between these stars and people, So essentially, it's like a marketplace then that will allow you to, for the star, him or herself, to set what kind of interaction they would like with the fans, and for the fans to actually tell the star, oh, we would like this interaction as well, right? They can kind of communicate with each other.
Sure. There is a marketplace, and there is also a space where you can live these experiences on video, or you can, for example, buy it on a 3D world that we've created called the Oliverse. It's going to be launched. And the experiences can be in different formats. Like, for example, as I said, going to a match with Carles Puyol, for example.
Wow, that's awesome. So actually, can it be something as simple as, for example, playing a game of, I don't know, Mario or, Tekken with your favorite star, etc.? And how elaborate could it be? Could it actually translate to the physical world that you would invite them to a real match, or is it all in the virtual world? What's the idea here?
Both. I mean, you can be playing a match on a famous video game, for example, or you can be going physically to a match with them. And also, for example, we are preparing sessions of running on real life with some stars, and then on the other side we are preparing some events with a large company of events company with some music stars, and they can do some sets with for example DJs doing some sessions with people. And actually we are on this Oliverse, we have a live video streaming, and you can be interacting with other fans and also with the stars depending on the experiences.
Wow. So what is the, let's just say, threshold to be considered a star, right? How do you, there are so many TikTok influencers, YouTubers. What is your criteria to be a star?
We see Olyseum as a star club. So basically every member needs to talk with us and needs to be what we consider a star. Actually, for example, especially one personal goal here in the midterm is that we include the stars that usually are not stars in the media perspective. From a perspective, for example, the doctor that is now working to save lives, or for example, some philosopher for me and for a lot of people are stars, but they are not covered at the stars. So we want to include them. So regarding the selection process is one by one, and where we see some interest for an audience, there will be a star here.
Wow. So actually, it's not just limited to, you were an ex-footballer, current footballer, media starlet, but you also could be just a run-of-the-mill local hero and be recognized for it. So basically, let's just say I know a local star here in Switzerland or in Britain. How do we submit it? Where do we go? What's the process?
So we have a dedicated space on our web where everyone can request to be a star or to include another star. So then we contact with them and then we start with all the process.
It's fascinating because the current NFT space is a bit about crypto, kitties, digital art of certain punks, What do you think about the crypto space, the NFT space in general right now? Are we in a good place? Is there a lot of, do you like the quality of the content right now?
Now is everything emerging. So there are a lot of things. There are really, really great piece of arts or really innovative creations. And there are also, of course, a lot of things that they are, but I think it's good because it's like a brainstorm of assets, creating some industry that will help a lot of things regarding, well, we know, right, from rights to collectionism but I think it's good, this asset brainstorming where everyone can find everything. It reminds me like internet in the first days with a lot of webs with nonsense and with a lot of interesting things.
But you mentioned something earlier that's quite American. So essentially it's not a lot of other countries giving their talent a voice, so to speak. It might just be that they are so vocal, and also they have kind of the media machine running at full speed. So Elysium will try to focus on global, as I understand, stars, heroes, and try to tell stories not just, North American centric, so to speak.
Absolutely. We are going global. Wherever there is some interest that we can cover and we can include on our system, and we can offer not only their fans, because maybe they don't even have fans, but some of our audience can start recognizing other kind of value on some people. We will try to be there.
Amazing. And actually, it wouldn't be called the flip side of crypto without actually doing the flip side. The flip side today, Carlos, is what is your biggest challenge right now for Elysium?
Myself and the wider Olyseum team have learned a lot since we started, and we are evolving, of course, and this is changing. But especially we want to create a place where everyone can find their passions fulfilled here, especially when the world is going to, we don't know where, but everyone has the same passions here, and they want to interact with the people they admire, and they feel admiration or passion or whatever. So our biggest goal, I think, one of them would be this, just being the centerpiece or the place where you go to really feel good with the people you admire, and you can evolve as a person, and you can you can continue the example of other people and by feeling them closer.
Yeah, and actually, so the biggest challenge, to paraphrase that, is to then achieve this big goal which you set out for yourself and the team, right?
Correct.
And who are your idols? Who are your stars which you would follow?
Me?
Yeah.
One or a type?
Oh, just name a few of them. It's quite hard to just pinpoint one,
Sure. I would name, for example, Steve Wozniak. That I had the pleasure to meet him. I would follow, for example, Elon Musk. I would follow also some friends like Kevin Mitnick, also a co-founder of this project. Some artists. I would like to follow some dead artists, for example. But that's not currently possible. But some people especially on science, on also some poets, some people on music.
So essentially, using Elysium, we could not only follow them from afar, but also just show our admiration and converse with them. So it's quite a novel idea. I cannot express enough on a personal level this recognition of the local hero, of how it has good mojo, a feel-good story to it. So really looking forward to see what Elysium has to achieve. And just so people are aware, what are the next steps for Elysium and the team?
Now we want to launch our ecosystem in about 4 to 5 weeks. The ecosystem it's first is an NFT, experiential NFT marketplace. Then you also have some gamification areas where you will be able to play with our stars, and also I don't want to say everything, but like kind of a gaming to find new stars that we will integrate on the platform. Then you also have some private spaces to interact with them by chat. We also have all of this experience creation and experience proposals, and something that we call dreams that is going on this level. And then we have the Olyverse. The Olyverse is our VR world where you can enter and you can interact with the stars, with other fans. You can buy NFTs on a 3D shops, buy products from some brands. And then from the ecosystem, we also are creating other tools. For example, a browser that is kind of engagement explorer. Where you can, for example, find you can find some NFTs hidden on several web pages, or for example, we can track what the user is doing on this browser, so we can reward him with some of our tokens or with NFTs. So and other cool things, some integration, some widgets for other applications. So the idea is that we create an ecosystem with the fun can demonstrate how good fun it is, and then we can reward him, and then he can access to experiences with the stars they admire. So the idea is that this is trying to find passion on internet or on our platform or ecosystem, and then reward this passion and allow them to fulfill this passion with the people is the source of it.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, this has been Carlos Grenner, bringing some passion to the passionless internet. Thank you. Best of luck to the Elysium project. This has been the FLIPSIDE Crypto interview. See you in the next one.